I mean, the impacts of the global fashion industry is just massive on the planet. It's one of the world's largest industries. It's like a $3 trillion industry. It has outsourced a lot of its production. So, of course, it's also part of creating jobs and to some extent creating development if you take the positive lens on it. However, because there's a big demand for cheap products, the exploitation of both nature and people is just massive across the world. And I think it's part of the engine or sort of the mechanisms of the fashion industry that is probably the most difficult to challenge or tackle and change. And also because we live in societies that are based on consumption and they're based on increased need for new. And I think it's in those mechanisms are difficult to change. However, they do need to be addressed. And it's probably the elephant in the room because we can look at how do we put a different input into the products? Could we make circular material fibers? Could we source differently? Could we reuse and remake? Can we make sure that we're paying the supply chain better and that we secure health and safety and security for those people who are at the forefront of producing the fabrics and the materials and the products? But at the end of the day, there's an engine that keeps fueling more, and a constant pursuit for lower prices. And the fashion industry has partly been part of making that system themselves by marking down products, by allowing fast fashion to sort of enter the market, and for people to not have any sense of quality or, they don't really value what they buy when they buy fashion. People are happy paying $1 or $2 for a T-shirt. But if you don't pay more than that, what way into the world could this product possibly have had? Who has paid the river, the forest, and the person who actually made the product when that is the retail price? And that system has basically sort of scrutinized, I think, the whole industry. So I would say a lot of problems lie in the fast fashion space. Of course, also the fast to market, which also pushed pressure on the supply chain, but certainly also the price point. And I think that bit needs to be addressed, and we need to get back to a sense of value, that when you buy a clothing product, it should have value. It should have value to you. You should be excited about it and use it a lot and not just take and make and dispose it. We need to make sure that it's better products, made better with less harm and impact to the planet. And then for the rest of it, we need governments. We need the governments and policies involved to create a level playing field. Well, I guess circularity is probably the concept that answers to most of it. Because if you say circular and you look at the fiber input, what goes into the product? Could we make sure that that is not a virgin fiber, but is something that was already there and is being recycled or in other ways remade and put into product? But it could also be circularity in terms of how your wardrobe works. I have a 21-year-old daughter. She buys a lot, even from people here in this region, because she found some people who has the same body type as her. So on different resale platforms, she will buy, reuse, products that are already there. And at the end of the day, the most sustainable product is the one that's already made. So if we can also get recycling into how our wardrobes function, and I think I'm probably a dinosaur in that sense. I actually like to own things, but we've seen new models where people rent, or, they have it in subscription, and then you have some products for a while, and then you hand it back. But if you don't cling to things and have to own, so I think circularity as an answer overall to maybe solving some of the bigger, especially the environmental challenges. Looking at the Sustainable Development Goals, which is this sort of the game plan for the planet that the UN put out about 7-8 years ago. We're halfway to 2030 in achieving them, but we're really only 15% of the way in terms of reaching the goals. And that does, of course, leave everybody feel a bit powerless and sometimes hopeless. I think we just have to go back to that place in ourselves where we believe that we are humans with a purpose and that we're given this brain and this ability to actually make change. And we just have to believe that we all do have an impact and that we're here with a purpose. And even if it's in the littlest things, even if it's making your kids more happy and teaching them about how to be part of a world and that they are actually contributing positively and their actions matters. I think everything matters. It's really in the littlest things that can have the biggest impact. But if we lose hope, we've lost everything. Because we're probably losing everything anyway. But I really believe that we need to come to that place of really thinking, it does matter. And the only thing we can't do is give up. We simply have to keep trying. We have to believe in humanity and believe that we are not alone and that, the collective actions of all of us will make change and that we can do it. So, yeah.